Welcome everyone back to another exciting and exhilarating episode of Oddly Coded, where the only codes we really know are like the Konami code and then maybe some Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 codes and then like the tank code from Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Okay.
I know a little bit of HTML.
But the PS2 version.
A little bit.
HTML.
HTML isn't a coding language.
Watch
it
those
is.
harsh
Yes, it is.
abbreviations on this show. This is a Christian Minecraft server.
It's quite literally a thing.
Hey Peyton.
It's also a
Oh, Peyton's here.
So
Alright,
today,
alright.
guys, today's going to be a little bit of a cacophony of our voices in a smorgasbord of topics.
Wow.
We got some older news that we were going to talk about a little bit. The Zelda movie was announced that Sony's going to be heading up with Nintendo.
Yes.
We got
exciting.
the GTA 6 trailer that's going to be premiering and like beginning in December. We got that new cute Pokemon concierge TV show that's coming out to Netflix. We're going to talk about the
Adorbs.
PlayStation Portal, the PlayStation 5's Wii U gamepad that's $200. And then a little bit into the
Wasn't
game
paying
of the year,
attention there, no.
because we got the Game Awards show coming
Yep,
up. But
the nominee announcements.
before we dive headfirst into the deep of that, we got a brief message from our sponsor Steej. But even before that, I didn't even introduce us again because Lyle, Dan, Matt, and Steej. All right, now Steej. You're
Hey.
good.
Hi, I'm
Steve.
Steej. What, Dan? What you got?
I was just gonna say we're gonna put some like sponsor music over this segment for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and
please
I'm
do.
Matt.
And I'm also here.
So yeah, I wanted to real quick do this week's subscriber of the week. We're gonna do it a little bit different this time around because on the last video or the last podcast episode where we talked about horror games, I actually left a comment myself, not being a horror game enjoyer, asking the people in the comments what a good introductory horror game is for me to play, and we had quite a few people respond to that. So congratulations to Off the Chains, Cooked Bread, The
Let's
Collar,
go!
and Major Astro I don't know who that is.
Major asshole pants.
So Matt,
Doesn't sound very
Matt,
important.
Matt also commented. So Off the Chain says Resident Evil 4 is a fantastic title that isn't too scary by today's standards.
I would agree.
So maybe I could look into that. Because even you were saying, Lyle, weren't you saying that it kind of dove a little bit more into like action game?
It absolutely was Resident
than
Evil's
horror.
start into the survival horror and action like combination. Whereas
Yeah.
like 5 and 6 they went full action, no survival horror, and
Yeah.
then 4 still took elements from 1 through 3, and it was a good blend.
I want to
And
see you
7
play
is
Resident
fucking
Evil
terrible.
2 because I had a lot of fun with that as a kid.
Okay.
They
'Cause
also
it-
did a remake for that, so if you wanted to dive into
What
that too.
number is Village? Is that 8?
That's
That's
8.
8, yeah.
8. Oh, okay, I thought so. Cool. So thank you, Off the Chains, for that. Cooked Bread says I could do the classic Five Nights at Freddy's, and to that I say jump scares are probably the number one thing that I hate from horror games. If anything, I would prefer a game that has no jump scare. It is a horror game with no jump scares because like. Which it does exist. Like games like that exist. I've seen videos about like different games where it's just like they're suspense kind of games.
Psychological horror versus
Yeah.
like, here comes the boogeyman from behind the dumpster.
Whoa,
If that's the case, maybe like Amnesia Machine for Pigs.
Yeah, I was gonna say Amnesia.
Machine for piss. That's a toilet. Okay, so thank
Machine
you,
for
Cooked
Pigs
Bread.
is the off-brand
We
Ozzy Osbourne
love the
Black
we
Sabbath
love the
song.
complete derailment from the. You should play a horror game.
Well, I'm trying to keep it going. So thank you, Cooked Bread, for that. We also have The Collar with an interesting take saying that Halo Combat Evolved is entry-level horror. And
I mean,
with the introduction of the flood in that game,
That was
I
scary.
kind of have to agree. That shit's kind of crazy. The flood just starts like taking over bodies and
yeah.
stuff like that.
oh yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
it's
and-
like older graphics too, so it's like it's like getting
kinda
into your
extra
imagination
creepy.
a little bit.
Yeah.
The music behind it
Yeah.
too had that like
Uncanny
slasher
Valley a little bit.
type like.
Yeah. Yeah, that swamp level where you spawn in and you go down into the depths and then you find the flood and then you have to fight
Yeah.
your way out.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
I
I
mean, he was
feel
kind of
like-
right.
Yeah.
Anything,
Did you play that?
anything in 64 can kind of be considered that shit because like you're walking through these hallways, they just don't have the space for music for these
Kirby
hallways.
64,
Yeah.
you're right.
And then you're just sitting there, you're just like, what's at the end of this hallway? They don't have the storage to light all the way.
The draw distance is the jump scare.
Yeah. And then last but not least, our very own Matthew, Major Astropants, says the poop killer. What the fuck is the poop killer?
What is that?
Oh, guys, you are going to be enlightened by the poop killer.
I thought
2
you were
seconds.
a fan of the Game Grumps.
Wow.
No, you don't watch Ghoul Grumps.
Ghoul Grumps.
Wow.
They did like what, 4 or 5 poop killer games this month?
I haven't seen that. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
It's more recent though, so I mean, if you haven't been keeping up with it,
I have not.
It's okay.
I have not been keeping up.
Awful.
It's so good.
It's
the campiest.
Dan,
They
make sure you
have
throw a
horror
picture
game.
of
It
the
is
They
the
have
killer.
merch,
memeiest.
my dude.
It is the memeiest horror game. The whole concept, and this isn't even really a spoiler, is just that if you don't flush the toilet after a big old poo and you destroy that toilet, the poop killer will come and get you. He's gonna come
Alright.
get you.
As he should. That's
And the poop
disgusting.
killer, his head is a toilet.
So, I mean, you're already on the poop killer's side.
Yeah.
So.
And
Okay.
and
I'm
we
gonna
got
have
the
to
poop
play
killer
this
origin
shit.
story game that's in there. Like it's
Wow.
There's some
Killer
lore.
origins.
I don't want
There's
to
some
watch
poop
any
killer
of the
lore.
videos on it. I just want to play it for myself.
I'm calling it right now. Is it on like itch.io or is it on like Steam? Wherever it is.
This is on itch.io. And
If you
there's
can leave
also
reviews on
Is that how it's
itch.io,
pronounced? I
Yeah,
just
if
call it Itch.io.
either way, if you
Okay.
can
Same
leave reviews on itch.io, I guarantee there is one on there that says 5 stars. This game is shit.
Okay, well, 2 seconds. Let me
I
see.
guarantee.
Y'all keep going. I'm gonna see if I can find the reviews of this
Cue
game.
rim job, but it's
Okay.
All right,
Yeah. All right, Lyle. What are we talking about
there's
today?
seven
You
Okay.
already
of
said
these,
it.
by the way.
Get us
so,
started.
So because today is Shigeru Miyamoto's 71st birthday, we are going to talk about the Legend of Zelda movie first. Shigeru Daddy is the creator of the Legend of Zelda franchise. He programmed my childhood memories personally, and they recently announced. Well, he actually personally announced via
I saw that. Yeah.
via the Japanese Nintendo Twitter that they have been in development working on a script for the Legend of Zelda live action movie. They're working with Sony Interactive, and then Nintendo is essentially going to be micromanaging the entire project,
That's
as
pretty
they
sick.
should. And as a massive Legend of Zelda fan, I gotta say I'm massively cautious. I am
Yeah.
borderline straight up pessimistic about what's going to be happening. Like it's literally taking everything inside of me not to just explode to the world and be like, please don't cast Chris Pratt as literally everything.
No,
Chris Pratt as
no.
Link,
He's already
yes!
Garfield.
No, he
Yeah.
would be Ganon. He would be Ganon,
No.
but
No.
Tom Holland would be Link.
Jack Black would be
Oh.
Ganon.
Todd Howard? Where's Todd Howard coming in?
Todd
You're
Howard.
right. Jack Black
Todd
would be
Howard
Ganon.
would be Ganon.
Tom,
yeah.
they'd probably put Tom Hollandaise sauce as Link.
No,
Yeah.
Tom Holland and Zendaya have quit Hollywood, as far as I know.
Oh, have
Yeah?
they?
Yeah,
Is that real?
they were just like, Hollywood is not for us. We're done now.
They're gonna.
Well, because
they're gonna.
that makes sense because Tom Holland did say something a while back about like recovering from like alcoholism or something like that. Like he's a
Yeah.
recovering
Oh,
addict.
I don't
Really?
know. I mean,
something
I
like
was. I was
Wow.
gonna say
I didn't know that.
I don't know if you guys have heard interviews of this is terrible derailment. I'm sorry.
You're good.
But no, just have you heard him say that he kind of based his career off of Michael J. Fox?
In what way?
I didn't. Hear that.
In the way that he was that iconic star,
nerdy
not
kid from
not
Back
in
to
the
the
way that he
Future?
got Alzheimer's
Right.
and
I get that.
but
Thank you,
anyway.
Matt, for clarifying.
Well, it's
That's
Parkinson's.
not a career
I
point.
was going to say he has Parkinson's, not
Parkinson's.
Alzheimer's.
Fuck! I'm sorry. God damn.
I know what you're trying. I know what you're
Sorry,
trying
Mike.
to say though, like because Michael J. Fox is like renowned
Oh, hi,
as
Jill.
I say Alzheimer's.
he's like renowned for his role in like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And that
wrong
quirky,
with
nerdy, like semi good looking kid, and that's
Yeah.
what he based his goings on.
Fuck.
For.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
rough.
also the massive explosion onto onto the scene, and then basically cutting his losses, and that wasn't really just because of Parkinson's for Michael J. Fox. He
He's
anyway.
got to be in at least one of these movies, because I mean, you've got the Mario movie. Now you're getting the Zelda movie. Somewhere down the line, we're gonna have the Nintendo MCU, and it's gonna be the Avengers movie.
And then they'll bring it all together for Smash Brothers.
It's gonna be Smash Brothers, and then the trailer is gonna start
it's gonna suck because it
Tom
includes
Holland
Sora.
at his house. It's going to start with Tom Holland at his house getting a little piece of paper with a Spider-Man face under the door, and he flips it over, and it's actually the Smash logo, and he's just like,
Ugh. No, but so a big.
I don't think he's much of a
big
gamer,
gripe. A big gripe that I have
Probably
that a
not.
lot of other big Zelda fans have is that it's not an animated movie, which is weird because normally that's people's go-to, right? Like the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action, the Disney live action, the Lion King live action, which wasn't actually live action; it was just a bunch of CG lions, no live action creatures used at all. But anyway, there's fan art all over the place of animated shorts of like Studio Ghibli style Zelda cinematics and just like all over the place, and people are mind blown. They're like, why didn't you go with this direction? You literally, like Miyazaki, I bet would have hopped on that opportunity to have worked on a like Studio Ghibli style.
Oh my god,
Link to the
that would have been insane. Yeah,
like, it would have been gorgeous. It would have been beautiful. But borderline like pessimist here. Like I'm already to the point where I'm like writing it off. Like there's no way, in my opinion, that this is gonna be able to get pulled off. I'm not happy about
I want it to have the quality of like Game of Thrones in their peak, but the writing of the B movie. I really do.
With the cast of Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerry Seinfeld as Link. Yes.
Jerry Seinfeld as Link. Dave Grohl as Navi.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. What the hell is this? I can't do anything with this guy.
Ganon, what's up with that?
Ganon.
Nah.
Wow.
Like, and then people are also really wanting like Robin Williams tributes to be somehow Easter egged into the film at some point, and they want like his daughter Zelda Williams to make a cameo, and it's like there are two severe ends of this. There are two severe ends of the spectrum. I am on the cautiously pessimistic end where I'm like, this shouldn't even be a thing.
No,
and then you
sure.
have the people that are just like Nintendo already has my bank account. Like I will lick your butthole, Nintendo and Sony. Like this is the greatest thing ever. Do all
like
of
you
these
with Destiny.
Do all of these things.
We're gonna definitely keep that in and emphasize it.
Of course.
For future
posterity.
uses, absolutely.
For posterior.
For posterior.
For my butt.
Can I hop in?
No.
Here.
Hop on.
Oh yeah, I'll hop on. So like, I have kind of like you were saying, I don't think live action movies have almost ever been good adaptations of video games. Like, and
Agreed.
we're kind of rehashing a little bit of a conversation that we had back in like episode what?
Movies
Like,
as games.
movies as games.
Movies as games as movies as games as movies. Yeah, and it's just, if you're going to take something like The Legend of Zelda, it's just like this kind of ties in a little bit. I'm kind of cautiously optimistic about the Avatar: The Last Airbender series that's coming up. I don't know if anybody is aware of that. Like, Netflix is making an Avatar: The Last Airbender series.
I haven't seen the trailer yet, though.
They released the trailer, like the official trailer. It does look beautiful. However, I really, really, really think that there is something about animation that just absolutely cannot be captured by live action.
Yep.
And a lot of it, a lot of it has to do with exaggeration. It has to do with like smear frames. It has to do with like a bunch of like little things, even characters themselves looking somewhat cartoony. Like, you have something like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'm gonna relate that to the Zelda movie because I think Legend of Zelda is also mostly mature, kind of like Avatar is. Like, the worlds are kind of mature. So I feel like with Avatar: The Last Airbender, you have these characters that are realistic-ish looking, like in the animated series, but they're still cartoons, and like their features aren't 100% realistic. We have like the guy that's playing Aang in the live action series coming up. He is, by all accounts, more than likely, I haven't looked it up, but he's more than likely an actual like 12 or 13-year-old kid, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a little older just to like help out with that, maybe 14. But Aang in the actual series, like the animated series, he is technically 12, but he doesn't act like any 12-year-old, like, he's immature, quote unquote. He makes like dumb jokes. The first thing he asks is Katara is if she wants to go penguin sweating. I can't fucking talk. Penguin sledding with him, but like penguin. So he's like whimsical in that sense, but like he's also I feel like his personality isn't going to be fully captured by an actual 12-year-old.
Somehow they're able to convey in the cartoon that he has an understanding of the responsibility that that's been thrust upon him. Yeah. And I'm agreeing with you. I definitely don't think that can be conveyed naturally in like to a child actor, whether they're 10 or 12 or 14. Like that kind of concept cannot be comprehended to I don't care how good a child actor you are. Like it's just not. It can't be believable, in my opinion.
And that's what I think. Going back into what we're talking about, I think we might run into the same thing. Granted, it's not child actors necessarily, but it's still the same kind of thing where it's just like there's certain parts of a magical world where I don't know if it's going to be fully captured. We've seen things like The Witcher where it's been done pretty okay. So I don't want to say 100% it can't happen, but I am incredibly like pessimistic about it. Like I want to be optimistic, but I'm like,
no, for sure.
I don't know. Like I'll watch it, I'll see it, but
I will say that Henry Cavill at least is that gamer. Like he's a massive gamer. He loves The Witcher and he loves video games in general. So he not only is he an amazing actor and he fits the role. He knows what and fucking damn that cake. Anyway,
that butt chin that butt,
and he knows what gamers are expecting from that.
Yeah,
I think a lot of. So I haven't said this, and this is a hot take. Surprise for the Legend of Zelda.
Hot take.
I think that Link needs to perpetually be a silent protagonist.
I was gonna ask, like, what should he be?
Yeah,
perpetually silent.
I forgot about that.
Is this a remake of the cartoon?
The magic of.
Is this the live action version of the cartoon?
The CDI games we don't talk about.
Tom Holland coming out here. Excuse me, Mr.
Princess.
Mr. Stark.
Or like what was his line in fucking Endgame? He's like, I feel cold or something like that.
Yeah.
No,
I don't feel so good.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel
so good, Miss Princess.
Miss Princess.
No, but like part of the magic for a Legend of Zelda game for me, whether it's Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, or if it's Ocarina of Time, like one of the more linear type games, the fact that Link doesn't have audible voice lines, comprehensible, not just like hit ha.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It allows me to dissolve some of that dissonance where I can put myself in his shoes to an extent.
Did that work for you with Destiny 2?
Up until my character spoke in the Red War, yes, or Forsaken, excuse me.
Forsaken, yeah.
But neither here nor there.
I'm not getting into that. It's just
no.
Didn't work.
Very old man with many mysteries type shit.
It's immersion. So if we have Link on screen, like with full voice lines going on soliloquies and monologues, like this is gonna ruin it for me. This is absolutely gonna ruin my Lyle's personal Legend of Zelda experience. And I truly think that if they wanted to, that they could do with a good enough actor, a good enough no-name actor who you can't really associate with any other major popular work, that a silent protagonist, given the right cinematography, the right dramatic moments and teaching and coaching, it can be done.
If we're
but I don't think they're going to do that.
There's lots of ways to tell a story without dialogue.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's either like a fan theory or if it's actually been legitimately proven, but I forget which game it was. It was like Link learning shit in like the fucking hyperbolic time chamber from the skeleton dude in the armor. In like
That's
Majora's
Twilight.
Mask
That's
or
Twilight
whatever?
Princess.
Twilight Princess. Okay, so
Wait, isn't the
wouldn't it
skeleton
be
dude him?
cool? Wouldn't it be...
The hero shade in Twilight Princess is a Stalfos, where you get transported into like this, like he said, this alternate
It's
dimension
the
type
hyperbolic
area.
time chamber.
Hyperbolic time chamber, yeah.
Because the hero shade, the Stalfos, is the Link from Majora's Mask. He never got an
Yes.
opportunity to pass down his techniques to
Yeah.
the next hero of legend, so he's
Yes.
stuck in this like purgatory, and he's teaching the Link in Twilight Princess all these new sword techniques.
That's my favorite.
Never
stuff
picked that
about
up as a
Zelda.
kid. Yeah,
Now-
never.
Wouldn't it not be cool for the actual Link portrayed on screen to be a silent protagonist, but a lot of like the actual show is narrated by somebody who you don't see until the very end of the show, and it turns out to be the guy in the hyperbolic time chamber. He's just like, now I wait.
That could work.
That would be really cool.
If that ends up happening, I'm gonna be really upset.
Why?
It
Well,
could work.
Yeah, just
And that's
because you
kind of
predicted it, I
without
think.
even meaning to.
It's kind of a Skyward
dude,
Sword type twist too.
Yeah.
You know they
because
ain't very far
Link
on the
meets-
development of this shit.
No,
Yeah.
they're not.
They're gonna listen to this episode and take my idea more likely.
That is the one thing that I think it has going for it, no matter what, is they said in the tweets, and I also checked out like the press release, where like Nintendo is working very closely on this project, like
Yeah.
very closely.
Aside
And
from
so-
Mario, this is their brainchild.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm pretty sure they worked rather closely on the Mario movie as well.
Was the
And-
Mario movie, was that their first like feature length film from Nintendo?
No.
What
so.
did they have anything before that?
The
Do
other
You mean
one.
like they
remember
attached something like they attached their names to?
Do you not remember the Super Mario movie from 1993?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Super
Yeah,
Mario
I
Brothers,
just-
where
yeah,
it was
it
all
just
about
didn't
corporate
feel-
America.
Yes.
That felt like a fan film. It didn't.
Yeah.
was
It,
like-
it looked like one too.
Yeah. But
no,
considering
I think,
their recent like moderate success with the Nintendo, not Nintendo movie, the Mario
Steej,
Brothers
take
movie,
that.
what, and the fact that was animated, and now they're just going straight to live action. Like
Yeah.
what? I don't know what I'm leaning toward here, and I'm sorry that I cut you off, Steej, but I just I feel,
well, if you don't know what you're leaning toward, allow me to pick the torch back up.
Well, I'm gonna
Take
tell you to
it.
shut the fuck up so I can tell you what you're thinking.
I think
Before I
that's
lose my thought.
the Mario movie, which Nintendo also worked very closely on, along with the producer, director, whatever. I hope those fries are good, Matt. It was kind of mid. Like
The Mario
Yeah.
movie itself.
like the
it was
Mario movie,
moderately successful, but
it
yeah,
was
mid.
fine. It
Yeah.
was for insanely general audiences, and
mean,
it was just kind
Full
of
disclosure, I've not seen it yet, and like
It's-
if you guys spoil, I don't care.
no. Well, I don't want to spoil it because like it's worth seeing. I
Mario
enjoyed
shit
it.
happens, as
I
you
got
can imagine.
enjoyment out of it from
Mhm.
watching it. Like I thought it was nice, but the trap that it fell into, I think, other than every voice actor just being a famous celebrity,
They're all
that
Chris
isn't a voice
Pratt.
actor.
Yeah.
I think the other trap it fell into was, look at this reference.
Easter
Yeah.
eggs and
Reference
nostalgia.
to something.
Mhm.
Like, I think Easter
Every
eggs
frame
in
has
movies.
like 30 in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think Easter eggs in movies and games is a trap that a lot of like directors and even game developers like fall into, because like that became such a huge thing. Like online, people making videos and podcasts and streams and stuff about Easter eggs, and especially with like short form content, like Easter eggs. Did you see this and this? Did you see this reference in this? And so it's
I
just like,
played
okay,
this
guys.
movie at
Six things you may have
0.16
missed.
speed.
They even had the
Yeah.
post-credits scene. Now that
Yeah.
like Marvel is kind of like
Did
not
they?
doing that.
Exactly.
Well,
Did
they
they
only
have a
didn't do that. in
post-credit
one.
scene?
Never mind.
There was a post credit scene in the Mario movie. Did you see the Mario movie, Dan? Didn't you see it? No. Okay.
No,
Well,
God,
if
no.
you skip to this timestamp. Dan, put a timestamp on for the applicable. If you don't want to know what's in the post credit scene, okay, ready? It reveals that like Yoshi's gonna be a thing. That's literally all it is. It's like
Well,
it goes back
that's
down.
Stupid.
It goes back down into the pipe and then like
That's-
that
it was-
they came out
They did
of.
the exact same thing that Sonic did, basically,
like
except for
Knuckles and Tails. Or whatever.
yeah, where they're just like, hey, here's the next character that's coming
He's
here.
like
That we
the-
could
he's
you
like
could
the-
have just thought
This is the movie
we knew
form
that was
of like
coming anyway.
video game paid DLC. Like,
Yeah.
like we could easily do this well written into the story and give you a compelling piece of media.
Mhm.
But no, we're just gonna cock tease you with some character that should be part of the regular story anyway, but you didn't see.
Exactly. That's
Oh.
what I was gonna say. Like, why
There-
is he not just in the movie?
There's going to be a Majora's Mask reference as the post-credit scene for the Zelda live action. That's what
Oh, you
it's going
think
to be.
so?
I
Yep.
feel my blood pressure
Is that what you're
rising.
calling?
I'm calling it. Calling
Okay,
it right
yeah,
now.
you know what? This is a good conversation, and I think it's good on this topic that we're on. What Easter eggs? And by the way, this is probably around the time whenever you could have it like the timestamp be. Sorry.
Timestamp goes whenever I do that noise.
Yeah. What
I'll
Easter
sample it.
eggs do you guys think, like, if we're gonna predict it right now for posterity, for like, you know, to look back on whenever this Zelda movie comes out, what Easter eggs do you think are gonna be in the movie? Like, what do you think they're gonna reference that might not be part of the actual storyline?
I think the
Hold on.
Master Sword will easily make a sound that will resemble like Fee, the spirit that embodies the sword, but we won't ever see Fee. So
Okay.
like, we'll hear her sound. They did that in Breath of the Wild, and we never saw Fee. I
Yeah.
think that like Link might walk
pretty
through
cool.
like a market in a town or something, and the Happy Mask salesman will have like a vendor with like kids around his booth, and he'll have like
Yeah.
maybe Majora's Mask up on the wall and a couple other masks that we like see that he had on his
Maybe like a
bag during.
Pikachu
Or
the
maybe,
looking
or maybe
ones in-
Beetle.
Beetle could very well have like one line or two. If he doesn't, man, if they in the movie don't have Beetle going, "Thank you," like
Just like in the
Like-
background, he's just like, yeah, he's just in the background. He's just, you just see him just like, he's like, here's your thing. Oh, I took your gold, and then he's like, thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
or like the King of Red Lions is just like in like at a pier, just like lobbing up and down,
Or like it's like a little toy boat or something. I think they're
Yeah.
gonna have like a little King
like
of
a
Red
kid running
Lions
around
toy
like with a toy boat.
Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah,
you
yeah,
think-
yeah.
Do
Or
you
the
think
glider.
they'll-
Or the glider. He'll be like, woo.
Matt, say what you need to say.
think-
Say what you need to say.
It's gone now. I'm sorry.
All right,
Okay,
well,
cool,
since,
next
since,
thing.
since it's
Dust
gone,
in the
I've
wind.
got
Don't
an
sue us,
Easter egg
Kansas.
that would be pretty cool,
What's up?
and it's based on strictly gameplay of Link to the Past.
Okay.
Let's say that he's walking through this town, right? And he's just like, you know what? I'm fucking hungry as shit. I've been walking this entire time. I mean, yep, and 3 dots at the bottom in a text box that they add in post. But he sees a chicken on the road, and he draws his sword to try to kill it.
And they have a stare down.
Then he looks off to the side to see a flurry of more chickens that
Yeah.
could potentially come to attack him.
and
he's
puts
just like,
his sword back away.
you know what? I'm just not
Yeah.
gonna do that.
There's going to be, what are they called? Cuckoos?
Cuckoos.
Yeah,
Cuckoos.
there's going to be some kind of like cuckoo reference. Either they're going to attack him, or there's going to be some kind of reference to like him not wanting to do it because like he's
I
getting
hope he-
stared down by a bunch of them or something.
I hope he
Another,
talks
like-
to
You're right, Dan.
Sassafras.
That's definitely
He-
gonna happen for
He
sure.
and his
Yeah.
crew are like running away from some enemies or whatever, and Link just happens to trip, and they're like going upstairs, and he does like a forward somersault, and he goes up the stairs flawlessly, and everyone like stops and stares at him, and they're like, and Link himself is just like, that was weird, and they just
Yeah.
keep
Oh.
going. They don't even acknowledge it.
Yeah.
He has to break pots. Like he has to just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he has
Money-
to break.
Or cut grass and find money in the
Yeah,
grass.
when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said
yeah.
like he like trips and like tumbles a little bit, like I'm just imagining him just going
Into
into
a pot.
a bunch of pots. Yeah, that's this is
That's
this is
gotta-
the writer's room. Honestly, for they should really just
Okay,
take
yeah.
what we're
like, just
saying
watch
and
the
just start
episode-
implementing these
Yeah.
and just see if you can
watch
work
the
it into a
episode
story.
We got you.
If it's that early in
Um,
production, yeah, just
yeah.
take these ideas. Just go ahead and take them, and then we can just be right about everything.
Yeah.
And we'll
Nintendo,
be like,
our
"Look,
dads already
Yeah.
work for you. They're training us well.
Yeah. So
dads and or uncles.
2 things. Do you think it's going to be an origin story, and will Sheik make an appearance?
I think Sheik will be
An
the.
origin story?
I think Sheik will be the Yoshi.
Oh,
the
like at
Knuckles.
the end.
Oh god.
I don't know. I
Um,
feel like that mystery, like taking that and turning that into
He's
like
gonna
a-
wake up
put it.
and go find
it
his
into
dead
cinema.
uncle who's gonna tell him to press the B button.
I think they're gonna try to create a unique story while maintaining elements from certain major titles.
Yeah. Are they going to do the
Yeah.
same thing they do with the games? Like where
And
it's
weave
like,
them
we're not
together.
going to just completely copy everything that we've done, but we're going to take the elements,
Take liberties.
Yeah.
put it into something
That
new.
has to be what they do, right? They're. I can't imagine they're just going to completely rip off one of the already existing links. One of the already I
Yeah,
wonder if
not
they're just going to
entirely.
make his own thing. Like,
So
Or do they
that's-
just
it's
take
a
pieces
new
from
link.
each one?
That's not entirely
know.
improbable though, because they do have the Legend of Zelda manga where Link does have like voice lines, and they're not shot for
Oh.
shot from the actual games, but like the Ocarina of Time manga is like, it's a thick boy, but it goes through the entire game. Like he goes through all the dungeons, he interacts with all the characters that you interact
Huh.
with throughout the game.
I forgot
and
that
again,
existed.
he does like talk, he does have voice lines, and it's jarring, but it's still a well done manga. So like
Yeah.
What if
they
he-
may
what if he has
adapt
a
one of the
lot
mangas.
What if he has a lot of trouble hitting a bat with his slingshot? That's
And,
the
like,
ultimate reference.
You just see him like strafing as if he's like he himself can see the Z target Doritos around the bat,
The
but
little
no one else
Doritos.
can.
Yeah.
And he just looks like he's doing like the Charleston in a circle around the bat.
I really want them to get like the actual like appearance right. Like I don't want them to go. That's the one thing that I fucking hated about like the early images of the live action Avatar series that's coming out. They listen for the Water Tribe stuff. Just to get back on that tangent for a second, for the Water Tribe stuff, it's fur jacket with fur other shit and a hood. They made Sokka into a fucking war chief. They gave him every bit of armor they could in the village. This man is decked to the nines. And he looks like the actor Sokka from the Ember Island Players.
He kinda
definitely-
does.
He straight up does.
The Netflix adaptation of Avatar looks unfortunately similar to the movie that we don't talk about that didn't
Yeah, the one that
exist, it
doesn't
didn't
exist.
happen.
The one that was never made.
The M. Night Shyamalan, where the twist
There's a
was
lot
that the
more
movie never happened to
accuracy in
begin
it.
with. But I do want to say, we were talking about anime earlier, and I was going to say, no live action has really captured anime.
Nope.
Until One Piece.
Can't speak to that. I haven't watched
Dragon
the
Ball
live action.
Evolution, you're right.
Honestly, all you need to do is watch the trailer, and you'll see this man. Okay, now there is an element of animation that is being put into this live action,
Yeah,
but one
for
live
sure.
action today
You gotta.
isn't having some sort of VFX being
Like
applied to
CGI.
it. But and you can't do that. You can't do what happens in One Piece without some sort of VFX. But
And that's fine.
this man in the trailer blows up. It basically
Like a balloon.
inflates himself to be the size of, I don't know, like a small plant. I don't know. He was fucking huge. He just like inflates, gets massive, catches cannonballs and shoots them back in live action. And I'm just like, what? And I didn't know anything about One Piece until I had seen that, and I was like,
Oh,
I need to watch
really?
the anime. I need to start
Oh,
watching the
man.
anime. And then so
Oh,
I started
man.
watching the anime, and I'm like, okay, no, the live action this might be the only live action anime adaptation that has ever worked, because they kept it just as janky and clunky and wacky
Goofy.
and goofy as the anime.
Like
Now-
unironically? No, I'm asking like unironically. Like it doesn't feel.
Unironically, yeah. No, but the anime was ironic to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's ironic in its unironicness.
They're gonna find
That's
that
meta,
fucking
dude.
they're gonna find
Oh,
that
whoa.
treasure, and all it is just a note that says, "Haha, that was the fake one." Sequel series immediately after.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now. By the heat death of the universe, whenever the series finally ends, and the next one is set to begin, it's just gonna be like a note where the treasure room is. He's just like, "Oh, I finally found it." He doesn't have both of his arms because he's battle damaged from all his weird battles and shit.
Are
and
your
it's just
guys'
a little-
necks sore?
Depends.
Because they're about to be from this knee-jerk reaction
Not
and
lately.
this shifting gears that we're gonna take.
Oh god.
So, I think I know at least 2 of you are fans of Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are y'all excited for Grand Theft Auto 6?
There he goes.
Chiropractor, here I come.
I would say yes, and I would also say that most of my Grand Theft Auto
Hype,
most-
nostalgia.
most of what I like about Grand Theft Auto was like Grand Theft Auto 3, just running around and fucking shit up. Just not doing the story, just running around and fucking shit up.
The amount of possibility that you'll have to do so now,
it sounds like it's getting up there.
It's insane. I've seen some stuff. Like, have you seen any of the alpha footage?
I saw that stuff that leaked a while ago. I don't know if there's anything new recently.
There's more stuff that has come out relatively recently.
Okay.
There's stuff that's come out relatively recently, and just getting into like just sheer the detail of it all. In GTA 5, maybe closer to like the end of its run, it still does updates here and there, and different characters come back because we need to keep this game alive somehow. Let's bring
now
the
you're talking
original
about like
story back
the
in.
single player experience, right? Not online.
No, this is everything that is happening with GTA 5 now is strictly online content.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like the main campaign was just left pretty much.
That shit ended in 2013.
Yep.
That shit was capped off in 2013, and then for the next 10 years, they were just like, let's make everything online. And so they did. But they're bringing all these characters back, and in the very most recent updates, you're able to like customize the inside of your car a little bit. You're able to add like interior trim and stuff like that, add maybe like a little bobblehead or something. In GTA 6, you're quite literally able to change the orientation of your little blind visors that are directly above you. It's stupid, like stupid little bits of detail. You can change you can change how far open the mirror is. I feel like slidey thing. It's stupid.
All right, so this is either amazing or they were just like, let's just think of the most minute detail so we can make people think that we have made customization just out the wazoo. So we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do the mirrors and the blinder.
Different height adjustments for the bobblehead that sits on your dash.
Can I move my seat back and forth? Because I need that leg room.
Do I have heated seats?
Here's the thing. They're probably going to implement the first person that they did for GTA 5 PC whenever it first came out. And then from there, they're probably going to make it to where you can change the seat orientation so it looks a little better either in first person or VR. Because GTA 5's in VR.
I have heard that. I have not tried it. I'm too scared. I think I will probably just hurl immediately.
There's a guy on TikTok that has now become relatively popular for acting out realistic crashes in games.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I love that.
I love that guy. He's just flying off a cliff in like a BMG drive, and he's just like, oh dear God, hang on kids, I'm so sorry, hang on. Oh God, my headphones.
I love those. He did a video.
Oh Lord.
He did a video a while ago where he was like, what your parents think will happen if you turn on the overhead light, and then he just goes off and they're just like in free fall. He's like, what have you done? So GTA 6, I heard that there were some rumors about a little bit of just the campaign itself. Is that it's going to be in GTA 5 there were 3 characters you could switch between. They're going to go to 2. Right? Doesn't seem like an upgrade, but it seems like a more
one is a female.
Yeah, so it's a Bonnie and Clyde situation. So where you've got 2 people in a more attached sort of relationship where it's more attached and better and closer. And anyway, so and
biologically attached,
and that there are also rumors that the campaign. God, there are also rumors that the campaign is going to be fully co-op, which sounds pretty fun.
What?
Yeah,
that could be fun.
It could be.
If that shit's co-op, I'm gonna.
But
bro.
So the thing is that it would be able to be. You could use it. You could do it single player, and just switch between the characters, or you could do it co-op, and you're good. Like so, it really wouldn't change the gameplay that much, except you would just be communicating directly with.
They're lucky they're not releasing this shit until next year or later, because fuck the rest of the nominees for this year's Game of the Year.
Yeah,
fuck that. Absolutely not.
I have a feeling though that GTA 6 is going to follow suit with GTA 5, and they're going to do a half-assed campaign, and they're just going to focus solely on online content.
I don't think you can do that. I don't think a Rockstar game can do that. That would be a massive mistake.
They did it with GTA 5.
No, but that wasn't a half-assed campaign. That was a full in-depth campaign But then on top of it, they went in and they also added an insane amount of online content. Now, I will say that the Grand Theft Auto campaign style is not really my jam because it's extremely jarring to go back and forth between that free roam
Sandbox
freedom
type.
of just being able to do whatever you want, and then you hop into and now you're chasing the train, CJ. All you had to do was chase the train, and you just keep doing that. And if you screw up in the slightest bit, you're gonna chase that train for the rest of your life.
1,000%. I don't know if you know about this, Matt, because I'm sure that you've played a little bit of the campaign, but you do get to chase a train and hop onto it as Trevor.
Yeah,
I didn't get that far into the campaign.
Yeah,
Trevor was the best part of that campaign, though.
I
love
adored the
Trevor.
campaign. I loved the campaign of GTA 6. It was 5. I'm also probably gonna fucking adore the campaign of GTA 6.
Yeah, and look at what they did with Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar Games cannot have a half-ass campaign.
It's hard to make a campaign for a game like GTA because it's quite literally just a parody of itself. They're making jokes on the radio. They got parody TV shows.
So then, do you think Rockstar will pull something where they actually drop the trailer before the Game Awards, or do you think this might be like, this might be like a Game Awards like opener type deal?
It's probably gonna be an opener. That would probably be what I would expect from them.
Because that's all they said. If you remember reading about it,
E3's dead, so that's all they got for that.
They were just like GTA 6 trailer dropping early December, and that's the time frame of the Game Awards. They didn't specify.
It's true,
I feel like it wouldn't make any sense for Rockstar to even announce this at the Game Awards if they're not like getting an award. Like if they got an award and they're like, "We got an award, thanks for that. Here, take a look at this. This is what we're going to be doing soon."
Not true.
But if they're just
Jeff
there
Keighley
and they're just like,
with Jeff
well,
Keighley
here's
being
my
the way,
shit. Look at it, and they're
Jeff
just we're just
Keighley
gonna
being
like
the way that he is.
overshadow everything that's happening here.
He'd be like, "Folks, and that's it for our game show, but we have just one more announcement."
They usually show
They do that all the time,
upcoming games at the Game Awards, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They
do, but
they do premieres.
That's the speculation with GTA 6 is they're like, because Rockstar was so ambiguous with their announcement of when they were going to be dropping the trailer, instead of specifying like at the Game Awards, because that would only work in favor of the Game Awards and GTA 6 if they were like, oh, we're dropping the trailer at the Game Awards, more people will tune into the Game Awards to watch the trailer. Like, why wouldn't, if it was the Game Awards, why wouldn't they just say that? Like, that's not a negative thing to do.
The biggest game to have done that in the last couple of years at the Game Awards. So I mean, the whole program's overdue for one of these anyway. Did y'all happen to watch the one from 2019? The awards from 2019 at all?
Yeah.
You saw that? Okay.
No idea.
Well, just for those of you watching at home, Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat, came on to the Game Awards stage, and he was supposed to be doing the nominees for the best racing game titles. Mm-hmm. Weird, right? Fighting game does the racing game titles. You think something's a little shifty here. He pulls it up and the graphic comes on screen. It's bah, 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 and then Scorpion's chain comes right through it.
Oh,
and it's the Mortal Kombat 11.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
And then they drop the Mortal Kombat 11 trailer. It's straight up. Like they
watch, they do something like that, and then Trevor just runs on stage, interrupts the whole damn thing. And something happens because
Yeah.
I want it to be Lester. He just kind of hobbles in. And he's just like, I can. Clears everybody.
What do you guys think about the nominees this year? Good segue, Lyle.
Yeah, it's weird that you went to the nominees because I was going to go a different direction to make your next hurt even more, but that's okay. That's all right.
I think this is a good transition.
Let's stick to it. Here we go.
Me personally, I think I did a great job.
Whiplash isn't always necessary.
So when it comes to the Game Awards, right? Like the game of the year is always the subject that is a big point of contentment for gamers across the spectrum. Because I mean, like 2023 in general, and I think you guys can just generally agree, was a massive year for many games, and many successful companies. And we're not talking like many games that had like 80, 85 like average scores. Like, no, there were plenty of games that were in the lower to mid to upper 90s in terms of reviews. And I'll admit I was a little surprised when it came out to the actual nominees. So if anyone out there that hasn't seen or doesn't know what the nominees are yet, we got Spider-Man 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Super Mario Wonder, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Alan Wake 2, and Tears of the Kingdom. Now, some topics of conversation that are being had. Some folks are being a little butthurt and salty and saying that a game that is a remake can't be or shouldn't be included in the Game of the Year nominations. For better or worse. And then
I would lean toward agreeing to that. Yeah.
Well, I'm curious. Why do you think so?
It's a remake. It already came out. It had its chance, and now we've made it again.
So you don't think that
better,
even to the severity
cooler.
at which it was remade, even if it was like such a gap in time from the original, that a new game from the ground up with the same concept, similar story, brand new gameplay mechanics, brand new voice actors, it's a new experience. It absolutely is.
Okay.
And I will admit here, I am a little biased. I love Resident Evil 4 and the remake. I platinumed it. It was phenomenal, and I'm very nostalgic for Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube. But I'm gonna let you finish. But I definitely think remakes this year, like the Dead Space remake and Resident Evil 4 remake, are more than deserving because of the revamp that the concept and the franchise itself went through in regards to the product that came out.
Yeah, I get that. Sure. I didn't really know a whole lot about Resident Evil 4 for it being a remake. So that I was definitely speaking from a place of ignorance there. So it sounded like an HD remaster. It's a remake, not a remaster. Ooh. So I could see it, and I doubt it's gonna
with a new
win.
Resource pack.
But I mean,
it's absolutely not just like a fresh coat of paint.
Yeah. So it
plus wax.
If anything, it sounds like Tears of the Kingdom is more of a remaster than Resident Evil is.
I would agree with that. I would say Tears of the Kingdom absolutely has more rehashed than Resident Evil 4
DLC.
Does. It's essentially the same map with some tweaks, the same gameplay mechanics in terms of combat,
with some significant tweaks and different tools that you can use. But
enemies are essentially the same, except now they have a dildo attached to their foreheads.
Yeah.
And for some reason that's like a dildo antenna to Ganon or whatever is going on.
I mean, in the same vein, Spider-Man 2 is a rehashing of Spider-Man. So
what is it?
Now 80, Dan,
80% the same map, and
looks like a great game, completely new story, very impressive. Love Miles Morales. Love Spider-Man in general.
Hold up. But, are you forgetting the fact that you're not only getting Manhattan, but you're getting Coney Island, Brooklyn, and Queens, my dude?
Yeah.
You're
I'm just saying they didn't have to do a whole lot
before?
to the mechanics of the transportation system.
That is... What? What?
You still swing. Is it not like the same engine? Did they not just
God, no.
I haven't.
That sounds counterproductive, honestly.
I haven't played it yet.
Probably should have just kept the same engine.
Okay, so
right, let Dan explain.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Spider-Man 2018 came out, and it changed the game for a lot, especially considering the fact that people from the original Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2 worked on the swinging mechanics of the original 2018. They brought them back from the previous studio.
I do remember when that was happening. I was very happy to hear that.
And they got the actual pendulum movement down to a T. It made it super fun and very satisfying to move around as Peter Parker in New York City. And then they brought the complaints that they had was that Peter was too slow while he was swinging at full speed, which, now that I've seen Spider-Man 2, Jesus Christ, he moves like a potato. Oh my god. Okay, and then you bring out the second argument, which is that for Spider-Man, who is a very aerobatic character. He is acrobatic. Shut up.
All both.
He is only able to do front flip, back flip, spin left, spin right as his tricks, other than the ones that you can't actually force him to do in the game.
Kind of like Sonic in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Kind of like swing. Yeah, exactly. Well, now you're seeming to get it. In Miles Morales, they gave Miles' swinging animations a lot more flavor, a lot more life.
You had to be true to the character.
You're spinning, your actual like web tricks as you're like up in the air and shit. They now have like a whole revamped control system to where you can make him do all sorts of crazy shit. And not only that, but I mean, he's just more like animated as he's going around. He's fucking waving his arms up, all sorts of shit, because he's only been Spider-Man for like a month and a half at this point, so he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Cut to Spider-Man 2.
Correction. Yeah.
Cut to Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that catches my eye,
what is it, a year after Miles Morales?
This is about a year and some change after Miles Morales in the canon story time.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was wondering.
In like the actual real world time, this is about 3 years. Miles Morales was just to show the actual visual quality of the PS5. That's all it was. The only complaint that Miles Morales got was that it wasn't fucking long enough. That's the thing. Like,
Even I didn't complain about that. I thought it was
great.
You go
on any of these reviews, they were just like, "Oh, it's a perfect game." It's
at least it didn't
enough.
Overstay its welcome. I would rather have less than
it wasn't full price. It was like $50.
And the story was okay. It was okay. But the thing about it is they're essentially taking these next 3 years from 2020 to now to get you ready for what's coming. So in cutting to Spider-Man 2, the actual just swinging, just by using webs, by doing your little like parkour traversal, like your web zips, all that type of shit, that is now about 100% faster. You're moving. The minute you leave that building rooftop, you're fucking going. And it is insane the amount of speed that these characters can pick up while they're up in the air. Not to mention the new traversal system that they've added in the form of web wings, which allows you to glide around the city and go through like small little gaps to make things like a little bit more challenging for you.
That's pretty cool.
And then all over the map, there's little points of interest to where you can thwip onto it, and then you'll hold around and you'll spin around to boost yourself to slingshot you in a different direction.
That's really cool. The web wings I thought were like really underutilized in the movie.
They were used in Far From Home, at least.
Yeah, he did use it in Far From Home. I mean, there's like one like really key scene where that happened. There was like one flight. I don't know. Maybe
at the end.
I'm a bit of a wingsuit nerd. I love watching those videos.
No, I get it. You would adore the web wings in this because both of them have it.
It sounds really, really good. Just for time, I was gonna just say real quick about Super Mario Brothers Wonder. That's another one of them. That just came out in October, and it's in there as the Game of the Year nominee.
Let's sorry to interrupt. Let's also preface for the viewers at home: game shows, please take everything said about them and for them grains of salt. The shows themselves, they're literally just like your opinion and our opinion. They're just an opinion. No game that's not up there was any better or worse than a game that is up there. And like this ties into what Matt I think is going to be saying is like the fact that Mario Wonder has been out for such a short period of time and that it was included. I feel like it was, there needs to be, aside from Zelda, right? But there needs to be like the family game that gets thrown in with all the other serious type style games. Anyway, sorry, go on, Matt.
Yeah, I feel like we're missing something.
There's a couple of these games. Oh,
Starfield.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you saw this, but you're gonna be happy about
Sorry,
this.
I'm coming from not saying anything for the past 20 minutes. Starfield.
You've got places 1 through 6 here. I don't know if you heard about this, Steej, but you've got places 1 through 6 here. Number 7 was Dave the Diver.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
It dead ass was.
It was
I
not.
I could see
People
that winning.
love
I really,
that game.
I would love to have seen that just topple
My
Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Listen,
As
man,
much as I love
in
Mario.
a realm where a game like Celeste can fucking tickle balls with God of War, Red Dead 2, and Spider-Man all in the same lineup,
Yeah.
and it comes out on top for music direction.
Oh yeah.
Out of all of those, these are people that got the money to bring on the fucking London Symphony Orchestra, and then you got person who is playing the keyboard in the actual orchestra for the Game of the Year, like the Game Awards orchestra that they do every year before the game is announced.
Mm-hmm.
They do like all of the nominees, like themes or whatever. She's quite
Yeah.
literally playing the electric keyboard in it.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, yeah, dude, yeah, no, I made this. So I'm just going to play my own part. Get fucked, all of you.
This.
So I know we're coming up on our time. I did want to end with one thought on Mario Wonder. Have any of you guys actually played Mario Wonder?
No, not
No.
yet. I don't really have an opinion on it, but I've heard it's great.
So it is actually
yeah.
phenomenal, and
Okay.
anything that you hear that it's like, oh, it's isn't it just Mario from the Wii? Just again, like no, it's absolutely not.
It looks
feels, It feels completely different. There's actually a level of difficulty to it, which was something that I was worried about. Ashley and I just got done 100%ing the entire fucking game. It's pretty good. It's really, really good. It feels reminiscent of Super Mario World in the sense of how like an upgrade it was from Mario Brothers 2 to Mario 3, Super Mario 3 to Mario World.
Oh,
Super
yeah.
Mario Brothers.
Like
2.
it has a crispness to it. Its art direction is
Plumbing's a
pretty
game.
brilliant. It's colorful, vibrant. But anyway, enough about that. To close us out, of either whether it's one of the 6 games that we see as nominees, or if it's a game that you guys think should be up there, what do you guys think either should be your game of the year, if it's not one of those 6, or if it is? And then we can also tie that question to our next subscriber of the week. Put in the comments, what game do you think is going to be game of the year, or what game do you think should be up there in game of the year, and why? Or hell, like what was your favorite game of 2023?
If it's Baldur's Gate 3, you're fucking delusional. Anyway.
If it's Final Fantasy
What do you
16,
mean?
then
It has
I'm
a
going to be
dick
with
slider.
you.
That's my number one pick.
Listen, man. If that
We all have
is the
dick
only
sliders.
thing, if that is the only thing that you have to go on, Cyberpunk 2077 ought to be there.
Well, no,
Listen.
that one didn't work.
We
when it
literally
first
already
came
had a
out.
whole conversation about Baldur's Gate 3.
here's
It
my
made
thing.
waves in the industry, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Here's
Baldur's
my thing.
if
Like,
Baldur's Gate
it's
3
gonna
wins
win.
it deserves it.
There ain't
going
no
to win.
way. There ain't no way that I'm gonna be watching Spider-Man lose to Oregon Trail with sex. I'm okay. I'm good.
As if the Oregon Trail didn't have sex. The real one.
It might.
Oh.
Aren't they?
I'm
you
sorry,
can't
I
have-
wasn't there.
You can't have sex in Oregon, aren't they Mormon? Like what?
All right, so
Utah.
Steej,
They're
what's your
outside.
pick?
That's
What's
Steej,
your
what,
pick?
Steej, what's your game of the
On a
year?
trail.
Well, it's gonna be Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't even played the game, but the Dan, literally, I'm literally unbiased. I haven't played the game. I don't know anything about it other than things that I've watched. Shut up. Other than things that I've watched.
Stroke that Spidey cock.
And
Your
like,
opinion sucks.
So Dan, obviously your first pick is Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, no.
Dan's like, it
mine
should have
is-
been Starfield.
Yeah, no. I'm here for Dave the Diver, man. It's
Yeah.
gonna make
Honestly,
its resurgence.
it should have been Dave the Diver. Dave the Diver beats Baldur's Gate.
I mean, if anything, it's the best indie game.
What
this
the hell
year.
ever happened to Sons of the Forest, man?
Oh, yeah. Is that this year?
I don't know. Who cares?
The sun went down and the
Two?
forest got chopped down for condominiums.
Who
I don't know.
cares?
Oh,
Great
It's a
Dave.
horror
how does-
game. He
How
doesn't
does that
like-
feel, Dan? How does it feel to have an obviously wrong opinion?
I'm
shoved in
sorry,
your
I couldn't
face?
hear you over how wrong your opinion
And just
is.
like Lyle said
Boo!
earlier, all of our opinions are fact.
Yes. Ow, that fucking hurt.
You can take that to the bank.
Yeah, I haven't
Anyway.
even played the game. The amount of waves that it made in the industry, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win. If it doesn't win, I will show my balls on camera. No, I'm not going to do that. I
plan
will.
on waving
We'll
it
bleep that.
goodbye as it leaves the stage without an award.
If it doesn't win, what should I do if it doesn't win?
Try some hot sauce. I don't know. Play a horror game.
Play a horror
play a
game.
horror game.
Play
Play-
Resident
play-
Evil 2. It's sick.
Play Spider-Man 3.
Oh, play Poop Killer.
For the no,
Play- yeah,
play,
Poop
play,
Killer.
Play Poop
Play
Killer.
Poop
There you
Killer.
go. There you go.
All right.
There's 7 of them, so you got your work cut out for you.
Is it actually scary, though?
No.
No,
It's really
No, in all seriousness.
Do you
no.
promise?
I promise.
plan on playing
if you don't
myself,
believe
and I'll let
me,
you know.
watch the Game Grumps play.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, watch the Game Grumps play through first.
If Baldur's
Google
Gate
Grumps.
3 doesn't win, I will play Poop Killer for at least 5 minutes.
That's probably
I'm not
about the length of the
overcommitting to
game.
this.
Okay.
All right.
Matt, what your game of the 23?
I don't really have much of a connection to any of these games.
And that's okay. Doesn't have to be one of these.
I think logically, I have to say the same thing that Steej was gonna say. Baldur's Gate 3, just because of the amount of like detail that they put into that game for being able to play that game however you want and actually making your choices matter. And that's a big issue with RPGs. And that was something they really fixed with Baldur's Gate. It's D&D the game, and with not as much flexibility that you get with D&D because there's no way you can do that because that's infinite possibility, but with quite a lot of possibility.
That and the fact that it drew in a bunch of people that don't normally play these style of games, and it very quickly becoming like those people's favorite game of like all time.
And if the game of the year, like everything else in this world, is about money, then that's a great reason for Baldur's Gate 3 to win. If we're going for just, if you wanted to say like which one of these games I think is like the most innovative among them, oh fuck, never mind. No, never mind. I can't do that.
Go for it.
We would go on for
no,
too
no, no,
long.
You brought it up. You got to.
No,
I would go on for
replace
too
that.
long.
Replace that with what will you do if it's not Baldur's Gate 3?
If it's not Baldur's Gate 3,
Do you still have those hot sauces?
I do. I can't, man. No, I done fucked myself.
Not
Did you
again.
not see the one chip challenge that I did?
Are we all
I
committing to something at this
Yeah,
point?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not,
We have to commit to
I'm
something.
not opposed. I just.
I
all
don't
right.
I don't have anything
Well,
to commit to.
Oh man, like
I'll
a marriage
edit
or
the
anything
episode. I don't know.
like that. You'll edit every episode for a month after that.
Oh
if it's
God.
Let's go, dude.
That's like 4 episodes. It's not even that bad.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
done
okay.
that.
I'll,
It's not
yeah,
even that
okay,
bad.
yeah.
You'd be
Yeah,
saving my
if it's not
computer.
Baldur's Gate 3, I will edit 4 episodes in a row of Oddly Coded, starting immediately after they announce the Game Award
Got it.
winner.
All right, Lyle, who do you think is going to be?
I'm gonna agree. I think objectively, Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna walk away with this one.
Fuck.
Of all the games that came out this year, though, I think Final Fantasy 16 was snubbed in terms of placement. The fact that I'm not going to hear the Final Fantasy 16 theme in that Game Awards right before the announcement of the winner, like medley that they play of all the 6 games, is a travesty.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think, like, especially from someone who hasn't played many of the Final Fantasy games, Final Fantasy 16 like topped this year for me, on top of Dead Space Remake, on top of Resident Evil 4 Remake, even on top of Tears of the Kingdom. Definitely my most unexpected enjoyment in terms of games too. So Daniel,
no, wait, time
Spider-Man.
out.
Oh.
What will you do if it doesn't win?
If Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't win,
I will not do anything Kingdom Hearts related, so don't go there. Let's nip that one in the bud real fast.
oh man,
You won't message what's his name and apologize?
Paul St. Peter.
Paul St. Peter and apologize.
I have
directly.
nothing to apologize for. Paul St. Peter, you heard it
will
here
you
first.
Call him and tell him to suck your Paul St. Peter.
We're not going to harass this man.
I will not harass. I'm
he
not going to
seems like
harass
a really
anybody.
Nice guy.
Well, then you better hope Baldur's Gate.
He
Baldur's
liked
Gate?
your opinion.
Yeah, he liked my
He liked
opinion.
the video, guys.
I'm
It's gonna be
flattered.
nice.
If anything, no. I will. Well, I can't really do
Something
I'll have to wait
Yotsuba related.
Yeah,
Yotsuba-
you have to give me one of your Yotsuba figures for a month.
Nope.
I'll keep.
Nope.
Well, I'll keep it in my house. I'll keep it like on top of my.
And then he'll send it back.
and I'll just give it back to you.
Why don't I just like cosplay as Yotsuba or something?
Boom!
Yeah,
easy, right there.
Like
on an episode.
Yeah,
an
for
episode.
like for an
a whole
episode.
please.
No,
yes.
just one episode.
For an
That'll work.
episode.
That'll
One
work.
That works. That works.
Okay,
I'll
so
do that.
far we have if Baldur's Gate doesn't win, I will play Poop Killer for at least 5 minutes. Matt will edit 4 episodes in a row. Lyle will cosplay as Yotsuba for an episode, which is if you're watching
my
the
favorite
video.
anime character of all time.
Yeah, and then Dan, when Spider-Man doesn't win, what will you do?
If Spider-Man does not win Game of the Year 2023,
Are you sure you want to commit to this?
How much do you believe?
He will tattoo the plug-and-play spider dick joystick on his dick.
It looks like you got something.
Awesome.
Oh, there it is!
Yes! Woo! Woo! Yes, there it is.
anyways,
The plug and
The
play.
spider dick.
I didn't
it
even know
does
it was
not
going to be
win.
right there at the ready. That was
oh yeah, dude, I got you, man.
brilliant.
If Spider-Man 2 does not win Game of the Year 2023, if it does not win,
You'll take all 19
2023,
inches of venom?
I will. I love that meme from that game. I do. I will resign from Oddly Coded.
No, you fucking won't. We won't let you.
We won't allow it.
That's the stupid thing. Come up with something else.
But here's the thing.
That's-
I'm just confident that it'll
That's
win.
stupid.
All right, I'll
No.
tell you what. Whenever I get my hands on a PS5, I'll play Baldur's Gate 3 without vomiting.
Okay.
Do you mean
What would-
if Baldur's Gate 3 wins?
What
no,
would make
if
you vomit
Spider-Man
about it?
doesn't win.
If
So
Spider-Man
any of these
doesn't win-
any of these games could take it, and I'll still play Baldur's Gate 3, and I'll do my best not to vomit.
Okay.
All right. That's hardly a committal, but all right. That's fine.
We'll take it.
It
It beats the
just playing
alternative.
a
All right,
game.
finish it.
do
We'll
you
finish
want me to
it. Wait,
come up
wait,
with
wait,
something
hold
a
on.
little spicier?
Will you romance every character for me?
I'll tell you what. We'll either do this option, or why don't y'all come up with something for me, since y'all are all together on this.
You know what? We can do the Baldur's Gate thing. Just you have to play it to its completion. Like not 100%ing the game, but like you have to play through
Play
the whole story
thing
without
Yeah.
giving up. Yeah.
Okay.
So all right, we'll at least
Yeah.
do that.
I like it.
That's fine, I guess. All right, cool. We're definitely over time. Lyle, take us
Yeah.
out.
If I could tap dance with a hat and a cane, I would do that little Looney Tunes jingle. That's all the time we got for you today, guys. I'm Lyle or Key Lime Opie. That's Matt Major Asher Pants. That's Dan Ridian. That's Steej. Let us know again for subscriber of the week next week. Let us know what your game of the year for 2023 was, or what you think's going to win and why. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on
TikTok.
Instagram and the Ticker Talk.
Comment
and
down
all
below
the
if you want to
things.
be interviewed or something.
That too. We love you. Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Gotta cup those spider balls.